To perform the national anthem this evening, we are delighted to have with us again from Pawcatuck, Connecticut, Heidi McDonough. And now, to honor the greatest country in the world, here is our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red black, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
A picture-perfect job once again by Heidi McDonough as we are ready for 5 divisions of feature entertainment. To put the first log on the fire will be our sportsman, and to get you up to speed, we go to the Chelsea Groton Tower and Mark Fish.
Well, thanks a lot, Matt. Another terrific job by Heidi McDonough, and always a pleasure to have her here with us. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the
Midway, what a night, and to get you started with his foot on the gas pedal, here is Mark Fish.
Tim Fogg at the front of the field in the number 2. They're already jostling it around at the front of the field. He and Jay Lozniak. Lozniak in the 28 and Fogg trading paint before they even threw the green flag. That's sending a message as to what kind of a feature event you're about to see. Bill McNeil down close enough to the dirt to throw it up in the air. In the number 44, he'll jump back up onto the asphalt as they go 3 wide coming down the straightaway.
McNeil in a fierce battle with Ed Gersh. That is a battle for 6 and 7. Here comes Jim Procaccini to battle for 4th, and in the lead is Jay Lozniak as he gets the upper hand on Tim Fogg as they roar their way off turn 4.
Jay Lozniak in that vintage Carlo at the front of the field, being chased down by Tim Fogg. That's your number 1 and 2. But take a look at that battle for 3rd between Pete Crockett and the 79 of Jim Procaccini. You talk about 2 great veterans in the sportsman division. They're battling it out, door handle to door handle.
Side-by-side extravaganza for 3rd and 4th. Pete Crockett trying to sit on the lap of Jim Procaccini. That is how close they are. Ray Downing Sr. wound up in the dirt, but is able to get back onto the speedway. And here comes McNeil, almost close enough to carve his initials in the back of Procaccini's car.
And probably would if he had the chance. Here comes
For the
Sean
night.
behind the Ed Gersh team out there, Dwayne Conant and Ed Gersh, the 89 and 83 respectively, as the 38 of Joe Curioso up on the Armco barrier manages to make a save out there, so a little bit of damage to the 38 coming down the back straightaway.
And it looks like he made contact with the wall at the front stretch, and that will start a mess as Procaccini has come to a rest in turn number 1 in car number 79. In the grass is Joe Curioso, so he is having a hard time keeping that car under control, bringing out the yellow. So things really got evil. In car number 38, he hit the backstretch wall, and then he made slight contact with the front stretch wall, springboarded back out onto the track, and the end result with Jim Procaccini being a bystander in turn number 1.
I'll tell you what, that last time around the track, Curioso hit everything but lead right now, Living, so we're hoping to get him down here to team up with Timmy again here at the Waterford Speedbowl.
Well, I can't stay on two legs for 1.3 miles. I don't know how anyone was able to stay on two wheels, but hopefully we'll see those guys on the 13th.
Pole day for the 1998 Indianapolis 500. Right now, going back to green flag racing with Jay Lozniak in front of a traffic jam on the move. Tim Fogg moving to the outside. 3 wide as they come into turn number 3. Bill McNeil, Pete Brockett Jr., and Norm Root. Norm Root gets out of that situation, moving into third.
Great escape by the Orange 80 of Norman Root, and now here comes Bill McNeil. He rampages his way into fourth, and it's Dwayne Conant. He infiltrates the top 5. Good battle for second between Fogg and Root.
So Fogg and Root battle now for second. Here comes Bill McNeil, sticking his nose into number 44 into that business as he's trying to get to the front of the field. Meanwhile, Jay Lozniak's looking at all of that happening in his rearview mirror as he continues to put some separation between he and the rest of the field. The number 28 on rails.
Keith Rocco having a good night so far as he squirts his way into the number 6 position, being chased by Dave Zemke. Remember, Zemke looked good in qualifying as he had a gift wrap victory, and right now he moves into 7th place.
So, looks like Dave Zemke trying to get to the front. He's got a long way to go. Roger Perry trying to move the 36 up in the striking distance. Roger Perry currently 3rd in the points in the sportsman division. Trying to improve on that. He's right behind the gentleman who is first.
Here comes Ed Gersh on the outside, making things very queasy for Roger Perry. And he doesn't have enough ammunition to shoot down Perry that time around. Closest battle on the track is for 4th and 5th, as Tim Fogg cannot hold off Keith Rocco any longer. And Rocco shotguns his way into the 5th position.
Your top 3 drivers are in a pod down there. You've got the points leader, Ed Gersh, the second in points, the 17 of Dave Zemke, and of course the 36 of Roger Perry, who is 3rd in points, all in one group. And they're all around Tim Fogg. So it's got to keep nervous time for the man at number 2, seeing the top 3 drivers in the division all over it.
Yeah, as they roll in around the corner, here is Perry. He is massaging the back bumper of that Tim Fogg car. Zemke moves out in front. Here comes Ed Gersh. Daredevil move between cars, and Ed Gersh is going to pick up the spot, and Sean Curtis is going to pick up the guardrail.
So Sean, I think, managed to keep it off the guardrail, but that's going to bring out the yellow flag. So the driver, the number 42 out of Stonington, Connecticut, tough break for him as he sends that car around in the top of turn number 4.
Well, obviously he did keep the car off the rail because there is no substantial damage to car number 42, and we are going to take a breather with 7 laps to go, and that is the last thing. Jay Lowe's on the outside here. It was a very memorable moment, and that picture of Dave Bergman is in the program, and I just happened to be by his side, and I guess that's my claim to fame, Mark, as we get ready to go back to racing.
Well, Gary, if you haven't read the Champagne book, we've got Jay Lozniak in front of the field, and he and Norm Root are trading paint out there. Norm Root coming up in the 2nd spot on the speedway. Great battle right behind them between Bill McNeil and Dwayne Conant. Conant got his first victory in his career here earlier in the 2004 season. Door-handle with McNeil, as everybody was a little squirrely going into turn number 2. Norm Root dropping back his face. That's going to give Keith Rocco a chance to get towards the front.
Norm Root had a difficult time keeping that car down low on the track, and he's having handling difficulties again off of turn 4. Keith Rocco unable to operate underneath. Dwayne Conant in 5th. Then it is Dave Zemke trying to battle for the number 6 position. But the man everybody's chasing is Jay Lozniak, gunning for his 3rd career victory.
You talk about coming in 3 wide there for the moment, so everybody's charging towards the front. Gersh trying to get in between Roger Perry and Dwayne Conant down there, trying to put the 83 up into the front path, but getting quite a bit of resistance out there from Perry and Conant, and of course Dave Zemke up in front of him, so he's got a tough road to hoe.
The move worked before, didn't work that time, and now drifting on the outside is Ed Gersh. He is about in 6th place with 2 to go. Here comes Jay Lozniak. Can he put the exclamation point on what has been a great run so far?
Out there with Bill McNeil knocking at the door, only 2 laps left to go. Phil to the field. It's way down. He goes around going to the turn number 1 down there in Green Acres. And things didn't turn out well for the driver of the 0. Here comes Jay Wozniak, 1 to go. Is Downing out there in a puff of smoke and barely gets by the field, getting by. And tough situation out there in turn number 1. Gary Danko, what do you got going?
Well, Mark, I just talked to Jonathan Smith, who is, of course, the owner of the USS Chowderpot and the proud sponsor of Mark St. Hilaire's late model car number 3. And Jonathan wants to wish his daughter, Chrissy, a very happy 20.
Jim Procaccini coming around in the number 79. He'll join the pack at the back as they come to the restart line at the top of turn number 4. They're at the line. Bill McNeil with an incredible jump as Wozniak doesn't come up to speed in the 28K. Zemke also taking advantage of that, and Zemke jumping out, but I think they didn't like the way that one looked at the start, so the yellow flag did indeed come out. Maybe Bill got too good of a jump. And so the leader will indeed get to start the race. That's coming back into the top of turn number 4. That's the restart line, the white line, and this time Wozniak up to speed very quickly in the 28. He's backing out with McNeil at the front of the pack. Green flag as the sportsmen try to settle this one. Wozniak and McNeil pooping it out at the front of the field. Keith Rocco coming up to join the battle at the front. That's the driver number 13. Remember, he lost by 2 points last year. The points man trying to get closer to the top for the finish here tonight. He's going to be in a battle now with McNeil, but McNeil coming around as the yellow flag once again coming out. And 2 cars down there against the Armco barrier on the inside. It looks like the bad night for Curioso continues. That's the driver to number 38 as he continues to hit things here tonight. Let's go to Gary Tanko.
Well, the late models are all set here in the paddock area. They are going to be rolling out next as soon as our sportsman feature is all set and done. And Carl Erickson will be starting.
Pen to one of those entry blanks so that you have an opportunity to win a brand new hot spring spa from Treats Pools and Spas. Coming back to the restart, trying to settle this one once again. Danny Blake flips him over. Green flags flying for Jay Wozniak. Number 1, McNeil on the outside. Here comes Keith Rocco in the number 13 to challenge. McNeil seems very powerful as Dave Zemke dropping back now in the number 17. So being up there at the top of the points lead hasn't been fun. Way back in the field. 1 lap left to go for the young driver out of Westbrook, Connecticut. James Wozniak in the 28. Bill McNeil in the battle for second with Keith Rocco. Looks like he has the advantage coming out of turn number 4. It's a drag race. Looks like Rocco will indeed take the second spot away from McNeil. So that was an incredible battle out there. Dwayne Conant will finish 4th. So incredible burst of speed on the part of Rocco as he wins literally by a nose.
Every millisecond of this one because it's his first win of the 2004 season. And here he comes, and we will have a word for him as soon as he, a word with him, as soon as he reaches a stripe. Here's our winner on tonight's Sportsman Feature, Jay Wozniak. And Jay, this one never seemed to really want to end. A lot of yellow flags at the end. How nerve-wracking was it for you?
Can you see I'm still shaking right now? Oh, man. The car was great tonight. I just want to thank my dad again. The engine builder. It took a long while to get this car back together. I was a little worried on the restarts because the car took a little while to get back together. But I'm just ecstatic right now. This is awesome.
Well, man who kept it together for 20 laps, Jay Lozniak. The Bob Valenti late models are our next attraction, and here to get you up to speed with the starting lineup, Mark Fish.
Thanks a lot, Matt, and a big win for Jay Lozniak as he's heading over to the Town Fair Tire Victory Lane.
And it looks like we're ready to pull the plug and get this one started here. 30 laps for the Bob Valenti Automall late models. Carl Erickson in a fortuitous position on the pole. Remember, he led about 25 laps in the last feature. He gets a monster jump against Joe Perry.
There's a lot of these drivers trying to get the cars dialed in for the Funkmaster Flex Super Series Invitational on Thursday. Carl Erickson, one of those, as he leads and trying to carry the momentum from his heat win into a feature win here tonight.
Mark St. Hilaire looks very quick in the early going. The yellow comes out 1 lap into the race, and the car in distress appears to be Wayne, or the 20 car of Wayne Burrows, as he got into a sticky situation in turn number 4, and we have the yellow coming out.
And savings. Right now we're getting ready to go back to racing. 29 laps showing on the Budweiser Racing scoreboard. On the back straightaway, Carl Erickson, Larry Goss will set the pace for the rest of this race as they come back to the restart line. Erickson, of course, the leader. He will lead. In the number 3 automobile, trying to come up there with the leaders. He and Joe Perry battling out for third spot on the speedway. It looks like that third spot is taken over.
Larry Goss a little twitchy on the outside groove, and that enables Erickson to slightly widen his lead. Shooting through the field is Mark St. Hilaire in car number 3. And the man to challenge him, Joe Perry. Good run for him in the first handful of laps. A side-by-side struggle behind him between Wayne Knoll in the 2 and Chad Tremblay in the 12.
Here's another driver who is making adjustments throughout the season, Joe Perry. Joe's mentioned before.
The new leader is Larry Goss as he is able to whiplash his way past the 5 of Erickson and infiltrating his way into second. Mark St. Hilaire aboard car number 3. Perry is hanging tough. Now Ed Field has picked up the pace and he has squirmed his way into the number 6 position.
Leading that second pack of drivers is Alec Coates trying to break away from there, but he's got some tough competition with him.
But this is only the second time Woody Pitcat has taken that particular car out of the speedway, so he's trying to get the kinks out of that one in time for Thursday's Superflex Super Series Invitational, the Funkmaster Flex job. As a battle for the lead, Mark St. Hilaire looks tough, and he is challenging Larry Goss, but right behind him, they should make a bobble, is Carl Erickson.
Leader, and that is Corey Hutchins in the Waterford International number 36. As we talked about, at his points, he knows that every spot
Yeah, no time to relax for Corey Hutchins. He is currently in 6th place, 1 spot ahead of the 7th in Red Field. He took a couple of weeks off to do this stuff tonight. Driver from Deep River. Joe Perry doing a good job because he is holding off 2 of the best. Dwayne Knoll in the 2 and Corey Hutchins in the 36. And whenever you can do that, Mark, you have a pretty sturdy race car.
One thing that we're seeing out here that Corey is doing is running outside in a big way and gaining spots as he goes. And once again, that's a testimony to
those guys are always working on that car, and that work usually pays off. Ernie Bertrand doing a good job. He is currently in the 8th position on the track as Larry Goss continues to escort the field around. So the brightest blip on the radar screen continues to be Larry Goss.
Larry Goss out there in front of Mark St. Hilaire. St. Hilaire, the USS Chattanooga, hits it. Larry Goss has had a very fast run. He's now on the 2004 season.
Yeah, the question will be for Larry, will his luck supply hold out? As the 90 of Alan Coates, second in points, is on the fairway outside of the front straightaway. The yellow comes out. So the 90 of Coates hit a little bump in the road, and that will set him backwards with 16 laps remaining in our Bob Valente Autoball late model features. Our safety to our competitors in the Bob Valente Autoball late model division. Wade Corey, he was complaining about that car in practice, so apparently things didn't get any better for that driver from Milford. And now the arm is in motion, and a great battle between Goss and St. Hilaire.
Two great drivers and look to be two very fast automobiles out there. Larry Goss continues to lead this one, but Mark St. Hilaire knocking at the door. The USS Chatterpot number 3 coming out of turn number 4 down the straightaway. Goss will hold on to the lead this time by.
St. Hilaire all over Larry Goss like ring around the collar as they head down the backstretch. Joe Perry, having the run of his season, is in third, but he's going to have to hold off the toughest customer of them all. Corey Hutchings is on the move.
Corey Hutchings trying to hold on to that point lead as he moves to the outside move on Joe Perry. The young driver out of Ashaway, Rhode Island, Joe Perry, trying to hold on to the third spot. He's door handle to door handle with Corey Hutchings. Corey continuing to make his charge to the front. 13 laps left to go.
Corey making it work on the outside, and he is able to whirlwind his way past the 73 and move up into third spot. But he still has a long ways to go to catch an eyeful of Larry Goss. Larry has been the best so far during the first 18 laps.
Larry Goss has to be looking up in the sky, looking for a lightning bolt, something to happen, because that's the way the 2004 season has been. He's always had a fast automobile, well prepared when he gets to the track. And right now he's out there in the clean air and trying to count down the laps.
Mark St. Hilaire is stealing his striking distance in car number 3. Corey Hutchings, we'll see how much of his car he used up getting to the number 3 spot. Usually he has a lot left in reserve. For Joe Perry, now in 5th is Carl Erickson. It's down by him. So Carl Erickson in the 4th position.
Dan Blake signaling 10 laps to go to the field as they streak by the flag stand. Counting down these laps very, very quickly. A single file formation with Larry Goss, the leader of the parade.
He is still the boss, but the challenge is being made by the 36 of Hutchings on St. Hilaire. Good battle deeper in the pack. Ed Field has his hands full, holding off the combination of Phil Rondo in car number 31 and on the outside Wade Miller. So that is the most intense battle on the track right now.
So great battle back there as Phil Rondo trying to break away as well. And number 31, the Payless sponsored automobile. Brand new sponsorship on that car. Payless Auto Class for the 21. At the front of the field, Larry Goss continues to put a little bit of separation between he and the USS Chatterpot number 3, driven by Mark St. Hilaire. Looked like they checked up just a little bit. St. Hilaire, of course, feeling the footsteps of Corey Hutchings, our points leader, right behind him.
Yeah, Hutchings has really closed up the gap. Aquilina in trouble as he surges across the track.
Slide
Wade
fluid.
Corey, maybe something blew on that car, made things treacherous for the 66 of McCready and the 11 of Jack Aquilina, who apparently got the worst of that.
Jack Aquilina right in the fluid coming out of Corey's automobile. You can see the effect.
This is not hydroplane racing, although
in our racing events here tonight. But right now, the business at hand, 6 laps left to go at our Bob Valente Autoball late model feature event. Coming back to the restart line, Larry Goss in number 6. Very quickly. Trying to keep up is Mark St. Hilaire in the number 3. He's doing a great job on the outside group. But here comes Corey Hutchings in the number 36. He's battling it out with St. Hilaire for second on the speedway. They come to the line.
Larry was like an arrow being shot out of a elbow, but he has a problem, a headache, and his name is Corey Hutchings. So Hutchings, who has won 4 times during the 2004 season, trying to shrink the advantage, directed by Larry Goss.
Larry Goss still holding on to the lead, trying to take home an elusive win from 2004. And here he comes down the back straightaway, headed into the turns next time by. Only 3 laps left to go in this one. Corey Hutchings still trying to hold on the car.
Phil Rondo has finally worked his way around Joe Perry to move into 5th. Right behind them was Alan Coates, so he had a problem before and has worked his way all the way up to 7th. But the man everybody's trying to chase, Larry Goss, 2 laps away.
So Larry Goss making his way down into the turns, trying to hold on to number 37. Has been very, very successful all during 2004 with plenty of feature wins. Larry Goss trying to do something about that. One more circuit around the 3/8 mile oval for number 6. Then back into the sun spot for number 6. Larry Goss at the controls. He's making it through turns number 3. Headed into turn number 4 down the straightaway. Checkered flag flies for Larry Goss, followed by Corey Hutchins, Mark St. Clair, Carl Erickson, and Phil Rondo. That's your top 5. Phil Rondo doing a terrific job here tonight in the brand new Payless Auto Glass sponsored number 31.
Okay, that's Larry Goss's crew chief. They're heading to Town Fair Tire Victory Lane. Larry Goss started back in the 3rd position, but when it was all said and done, he is in the number 1 position, and Matt Buckler will be talking to him in just a moment.
Back, the moment's basically upon us as Larry Goss has come to the start-finish line. Matt Buckler, how about it?
Okay, Larry Goss is taking off his helmet, and we will have a word with a man who electrified the field tonight in a 30-lap late model feature, Larry the Boss Goss. Well, Larry, after all the bad breaks that you've had over the last 2 years, how satisfying is it to finally pull out a victory tonight and really just, oh, I guess this says it all right there. Must be a great moment for you.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was just waiting for Corey to come to the field, up to the front, and I just had to hold him off and go from there.
What was the difference tonight that you were able to pull it off after a lot of frustrating moments in 2004?
I used my head. I took a calm, collective, took my time going up, and we're here.
Well, it was a great strategy and a great victory for the driver of car number 6, Larry Goss. So a great moment at the start-finish line, and we're looking for another great moment from our competitors in the Legends division. To get you acquainted with our field, let's go back to the Chelsea Groton Tower for Mark Fish.
Thanks.
Ready to break the seal and go racing in our Legends division. And now to get you started as the field approaches the stripe. Approaching the microphone is Mark Fish.
Thanks a lot, Matt. John Ahern at the front of the field along with Mark Barkai. Looking for the green, and I've got to feel this one's going to come back.
Well, 3 wide right at the start.
Wide at the start. Everybody charging as we have, of course, the 0 going around with Michael Pepe in it. So they're going to stay green. And cars charging at the start. Jim Ahern coming out of that group of drivers into number 1. So talk about experience paying off. Your points leader puts the 1 at the front of the field, but here comes the 99 to Michael Beebe Jr. Yeah,
Ahern doesn't stay there for very long as Michael Beebe Jr. Remember, he has a hot hand winning on Wednesday night, and now the goal comes out. And a couple cars, Len Beebe in the nuclear colored 38 is up against the barrier. And another car pinned between Beebe and the wall. So the yellow makes its first appearance 1 lap into the race. And that is a tough thing to see against one of the Class X of the Legend division. Len Beebe back to the Legends full-time, his last full-time season in 2002. He was able to win a championship.
So walking away from the automobile, it's great to see him out of the car, and the other competitor.
I think that might be the 32 of Chris Barkai.
It is.
Chris Barkai looks so impressive in qualifying, but a little jingle between himself and Len Beebe. But hopefully good luck to three of the best, and that's Larry Goss, Mark St. Hilaire, and Corey Hutchings, who has already practiced here, getting ready for that with the tires that they will be using for the Super Series Invitational. It looks pretty tough, but he always does. As we get ready for a restart, Michael Beebe gets a jump. Trying to hang tough with him is Mark Barkai, and getting a piece of the dirt, but also getting a piece of third place is George Whitney.
George Whitney, the winner on opening day way back on March 28th. And he's trying to put that car in the winner's circle yet again. Jeffrey Kahn, the number 91, holding his own in the number 4 spot on the speedway as Jim Ahern takes the number 1 into the infield. So this is really going to shake things up in the point standings. That's our points leader posting into the infield.
If there is an improvement award, it would have to go to the guy currently running fourth, Jeffrey Paul. He is holding off Silas Hiscock Sr. or Jr. in car number 37. And right behind them, a force that's always ready to be reckoned with, and that's Charlie Pastriak. Currently plants himself in the number 6 position.
He's making a charge on the outside groove. And he's coming up on Silas Hiscock in the number 37 junior from Sag Harbor, New York. And it looks like Pastriak trying to use the inside groove. He gets by Hiscock, won't do it this time by.
Well, Mark Barkai in car number 52 has to feel like the filling of an Oreo as he is surrounded by the black and gold of Beebe and Whitney. But he hangs on to his second place status. And if any of those guys take a stutter step, right there is Jeffrey Paul.
Jeffrey Paul out there, as we said before, rookie drivers spend a lot of time on Thursday night practices getting seat time, valuable seat time. And it's paying off for him during the 2004 season. As you can see, he's up there battling out the lead.
Right now, Mark Barkai all over the 99 of Beebe like a jar of Armorall as they head into turn 3. Good 5th place run so far for the guys from Sag Harbor. Silas Hiscock Jr. in 6th, and right behind them is Silas Hiscock Sr. in the 7 car.
There's Silas Hiscock Sr. and Jr. great competitors for many years, and they have another son down there that runs the Bandolero, which is a lot like a Legends car. So 600 racing, that's from a Christmas car every year.
Right now, Dave Smith is in danger of being lapped as here comes Michael Beebe Jr. being shadowed by the 52 of Mark Barkai. And Beebe is able to make the pass very cleanly. However, he does get a little sideways. So a little swivel move by Beebe, but it doesn't seem to slow him down.
So Barkai holding his own up there with his driver up there between 2 of the MJ bus cars, as it looks like Pastriak jumping off the pace in the 09. And that's going to allow Silas Hiscock Sr. and Jr. to go flying by as they make their charge to the front of the field, trying to break up that M&J bus conglomerate at the front of the field.
Mark Esposito doing a good job currently in the number 7 position. But the conglomerate is dominating here as the 99 of Beebe has first, the 9 of Whitney third as the yellow comes out, as the 11 of Luke Tussing is stationary in the entrance to turn number 3. So that brings out the gold with 11 laps into this 20-lap Legends feature.
Been a rough night for the driver of the number 11. You remember he was caught up in an incident a little bit earlier in the evening, of course.
Perfectly. It's like he is talking to you, and a great book, and we're happy to see Mark with us tonight. Southington, Connecticut, the same hometown as Gary Danko. Just thought I would throw that in.
That's right. Gary Danko's actually the mayor of Southington. Now they're going to make their way out of turn number 4, coming down the straightaway. Mike Beebe Jr. and Mark Barkai out there, number 52. And Mark Barkai trying to hold his own against people like George Whitney. And Jeffrey Paul now coming up to make his presence known out there in the number 91. That's a great battle for third spot on the speedway. Look at the Paul this time by.
Boy, he is not bashful as the driver of car number 91. Let's see if he has something for George Whitney in car number 9. Whitney did a great job on the restart to catapult his way into second. They stampede their way off the corner. Fracas on the backstretch, bringing out another yellow with 8 to go. The 19, I believe, is involved. One of the M&J Bus Company cars, driven by Jason Beebe. So he was involved in that little bit of mayhem on the backstretch. So George Whitwell,
Well, are you okay? What happened?
Yeah, I'm all right. This is my first time ever driving one of these cars, and some people like to get a little aggressive, but oh well, that's the way it goes.
Okay, that's Frankie Cardile. He's walking back into the paddock area as his car is being towed in. Doesn't look like there's a lot of damage on the race car, but all in all, he's out of the event. We're going back. Green flag racing.
And at the front of the field, all 9s across the front lineup, and those are M&J Bus sponsored automobiles, as we have Mike Peavy Jr. and the number 9 of George Whitney at the front of the field, and right behind them we have Mark Barkai at number 52.
So 2 teammates have the front of the field surrounded. Barkai trying to move up. Jeffrey Paul refuses to evaporate. And now the 0, Michael Pepe. Remember, he started dead last in the field. He is challenging Silas Hiscock Jr. for the number 5 position.
Yeah, he's in that car normally campaigned by Vinny Esposito, and doing a terrific job, and currently in the 5th spot on the Speedway. This time by only 5 laps left to go as the number 44 of Aaron Draco heads to the infield.
Let's see if Whitney has anything left for his teammate, Michael Beebe. Michael, the fastest legend car in the past 7 days. Pepe able to pick up a spot against Jeffrey Paul. So it is Pepe really putting on a show in the final laps.
So Michael Pepe trying to join the group at the front. He's got to get by Mark Barkai in the number 52. And then he's going to take on Michael Beebe Jr. and, of course, George Whitney in the number 9 as these laps continue to count down in a very quick way, as now we have a full head of steam on the part of the 99.
Silas Hiscock Sr. has infiltrated his way into the top 6. But the script at the top remains the same. It is Michael Beebe Jr. and his escort is the 9 of George Whitney.
The real battle on the track right now is between the 0 of Michael Pepe and that number 52 of Mark Barkai. Mark Barkai started out at the front of the field, is held on to the 3rd spot on the Speedway for the moment. Now it gets down to the nitty-gritty. 1 lap left to go. Let's see what happens in that 3rd spot. Also coming up to battle is Jeffrey Paul in the number 91. He's proven he's not afraid to go to the outside in the 91. Barkai to the high side. On the inside in the battle for 3rd, that's Michael Pepe in the 0. Michael Beebe Jr. wins this one. George Whitney 2nd. Gives the 3rd spot to Michael Pepe. 4th spot belongs to Mark Barkai. And rounding out the top 5, that's Jeffrey Paul in the 91. So terrific finish out there. And a great battle, as always, for the Legends Car Division.
99, Mike Beebe Jr. Mike, I think it has to make this one a little more memorable, the fact that you had to hold off one of the best, George Whitney, to make it work.
Yeah, I think he was probably a little faster than me, but I just didn't think he'd go on the outside and pass me, so I just tried to keep it low and keep him behind me. I think I started pulling away from him at the end there. Cars started to get a little better towards the end.
2 wins in a row. How can you explain this sudden hot streak?
I've just been working on the car a lot and finally getting it hooked up.
Well, nobody got it hooked up better tonight than the driver of car number 99, Mike Beebe Jr. So in just a few moments, this front stretch will be owned by the guys who have been responsible for so many great moments in the sport of auto racing. So as they make their way onto the track, we're going to make our way to the Chelsea Groton Tower and Mark Fish.
Thanks.
Collection of auto racing talent ever put together in New England. These guys could drive race cars, believe me. Dirt, asphalt, open cockpit, Winston Cup cars, whatever. This is really extraordinary. Somewhere I've got Bones Buster, this is the guy that taught me how to write right here. We're going to share this duty. I don't know where to start. Why don't we start right here? They call this guy the Connecticut Valley Rocket. This is Bill Slater. He probably won as many races here as anybody. The V8, this guy absolutely dominated this place, dominated Norwood, won at Langhorne, won at Trenton, Bill Slater.
One of the all-time great midget drivers, actually had his start in a stock car here at the New London Waterford Speedbowl. Lord knows how many wins this guy had in every kind of race car. Ladies and gentlemen, from Seekonk, Massachusetts, the great Dave Humphrey.
Another guy who won a championship here, but he's much better known for his action on the dirt. From East Haddam, Connecticut, originally, Ronnie Narducci.
There's only one man in New England auto racing, maybe anywhere, who's known simply as the champ. 4 national NASCAR Sportsman Championships in a row. From Agawam, Massachusetts, the Clown Prince of New England auto racing, Reedy Charland.
You can't say Danbury Race Arena without Donnie LaJoy, but this guy could go like the devil at Trenton, too. One of the real gentlemen in our sport, folks, Donnie LaJoy.
Maybe the guy who's gone the farthest from racetracks like the New London Waterford Speedbowl out of New England, all the way to Victory Lane at Talladega. He was the kid from Fitchburg. He was the Wassa Wassa kid. He was a track champ just about every place. He won every race that counted around here, including right here at the Speedbowl. The great Ronnie Bouchard.
In the terms of pioneers, they don't get any more pioneer than the guy who really started this sport in a way, Moon Burgess.
There was a time through the 60s and the 70s when one of the toughest bullring drivers in America could be found at places like Waterford, places like Seekonk, places like Westboro. From Upton, Massachusetts, they called him Gentleman George, and he was every bit of that, George Summers.
For guys like me that like the dirt, it didn't get any tougher than Don Rounds, the guy who got him around Stafford Speedway.
Another guy who went from the Coops all the way up to the what's now Nextel Cup. Won all over New England, was noted for dominating places like the Norwood Arena, had wins at Stafford, at Thompson, the 1967 NASCAR National Sportsman Champion, and the 1970 Daytona 500 winner from Dedham, Massachusetts, Pete Hamilton.
Another one of the original Eastern Bandits who went from modifieds to sprint cars to Indianapolis cars. The 1971 Indianapolis 500 Rookie of the Year, Dennis Zimmerman.
Bugsy Stevens said about this next guy, Leo Cleary, that he was Earnhardt before there was an Earnhardt. One of the toughest guys, and yet one of the fairest racers to ever drive a modified. A winner just about every place, Leo the Lion Cleary.
And I'm really excited because I get to do Bugsy Stevens. This guy wrote the rules on what it was to be a modified race car driver. Bugsy Stevens.
One of the best ever at the New London Waterford Speedbowl from Niantic, Connecticut. He won not only here, but went on to race up and down the East Coast. Ran up front just about every place, a friend to everybody in this division, Billy Harmon.
The man who put the Pinto revolution in motion along with car owner Bobby Judkins. As natural a race driver as there ever was, Gene Burgeon.
At one time, they called him Wild Bill, but he was anything but wild on the racetrack. Billy Greco won at Plainville. He won at every track sanctioned by the old United organization. He dominated Riverside Park for years. He scored plenty of wins right here at the Waterford Speedbowl. The one and only Bill Gramps Greco.
And And while we're at it, we'd like to announce one of the great stars in the history of this historic place, Dick Beauregard. As I said before, this is just an extraordinary group. There must be 1 million features here. There must be 100 championships here. I ask you to put it together for this group of race drivers. You know, I think if you go through these guys, most of them here will admit a great debt to one particular race car driver. We lost him 20 years ago this summer. Eddie Flemke, Steady Eddie, the originator of the Eastern Bandits. Paula Flemke Burchard is here tonight representing her father. Paula is going to bring the throw the first flag for the SK Modified feature. Welcome, guys. Welcome, Paula. Thanks a lot for everybody.
So the Hall of Famers are getting, this is going to be a collector's item right here. This photo that is being taken because Pete Zanardi said it best, about 1 million feature wins and 100 championships at least. And what a sight right here on the front straightaway. Mark, this is just a great historic moment. I don't know if any Hall of Famers, this many, has ever been in one place at one time, but it's just a great nostalgic moment, and I think the highlight of tonight's festivities and the highlight of Nostalgia Weekend taking place right here on the track.
That's for sure. It's going to be a tough act to follow, and we're going to be bringing out the SK Modifieds in a few short moments to ready to go. They're coming to the starting line down here on the front straightaway. 35 laps with the distance. Don Fowler will be the man setting the pace for this race. They're coming to the starting line, and the green flag flies. Keep in mind, that is his backup car out there. It is performing very well, man.
Great job by Paul Bouchard to get the wheels in motion tonight. Already a challenge. To the outside of him. Ronnie Silk as they blast their way to the fourth turn.
Ronnie Silk, very talented young driver out there on the outside. We have a melee in the middle of the field. Two drivers running the fight. One of those, Sean Monahan in the 84. Looks like he's okay. He'll get that car back out on the track. Another car pulling away is the number 92, excuse me, 82. That's Pete Pavone.
Also involved was the 24, Joey Saval, driving an unfamiliar race car. As we get ready to resume, Don Fowler in car number 26, Joe Schilling in the 83, and Fowler got the upper
Number 88 out there in the second spot on the speedway, looking for more as he dives to the inside of the track. The 88 coming around on the inside. Looks like we have a brand new leader.
Ronnie Silk, first winner in 2004. He's being chased by Ron Ulas. So we have two guys who have yet to taste victory running 1-2, and behind them a man.
Jeff Pearl seems to have issues down with problems behind him as well. So it looks like somebody else having a chance to box. It's like a 66 of Michael Daly. So keep an eye on that area where that car blew up. Also, Jeff Pearl, striking distance, and Dennis Gata, number 3.
Outside of Jeff Pearl could not make that outside move work, as we have Mark Payne, who put on such a show 2 weeks ago. He is in the fairway outside of turn number 4, bringing out the second yellow of the flag, bringing out the second yellow of the race.
As good as they did the day they rolled off the trailer. for competition. Hats off to them. Right now the competition continues here in the SK Modified feature. 29 laps left to go. They come back by the starting line. Ronnie Silk and Ryan Newhouse in the front of the field as they continue their battle for first and second. Here comes Jeff Pearl. Now the number 71 automobile jumps into the battle for second. He's side by side with Newhouse as they cross the stripe. It's still Ronnie Silk.
But Jeff Pearl tornado his way into second place. And now on the bottom, ready to make something happen, is a 24 of Joey Savali. So Savali, who hasn't raced very often in Waterford Speedbowl this year, has moved his car into third place.
Right behind him, Ron Janovic Jr.'s contest races towards the front. You got it right there. A lot of great drivers. Those cars are high and low.
Here comes Janovic. A little jiggle move by Janovic, and he was able to hold on. The save of the night took right place, took right there. Shake and bake move by Janovic, and he was able to recover.
Followed with the tire crash of the driver. Last one there is a 0-1 of Glenn Billings. Billings holding on to the spot as they cross the line.
A little wiggle move by 24 Savali because of the fierce pressure being generated by Ron Newhouse. That's a battle for third and fourth. Janovic now has a familiar face to the outside of him. It is Dennis Gator.
Rodeo for these two guys battling out next to each other. Dennis Gator, man in the lead in the point standings, commanding the first tier of the CPI ratings for the NASCAR Classic Series side by side.
Janovic is able to hold him off in the battle for fifth. There's a little trouble for Recchio having a hard time keeping that car on the asphalt and having a difficult time keeping his car in the lead as Ronnie Silk, and that's because Jeff Pearl is all over him like gum underneath his shoe. Jeff Pearl is really going to pass him.
Jeff Pearl trying to get underneath Ronnie Silk. Right away. Sometimes you take that inside move away from the driver, the number 88, talented young driver, Ronnie Silk at the point. And another talented young driver, Joey Savali.
Right behind Savali, still in the mix. Janovic and Gator round out the top six. Ed Reed is right where he wants to be, within striking distance of Dennis Gator as they rumble their way into the second turn.
As they are the point standings, as they are on the track. One spot separating the two.
Yellow is out as Richie Carmen took a detour in the grass, and Butch Perry is marooned in turn number 4. And also in trouble is Glenn Billings in the middle of turns 3 and 4.
Looks like Butch guy has a car pointed back towards Ashaway.
Ashaway went that way. Track 2, Bark, is our Bob Valente Automall pace truck. Hits the sidelines, and we are about to hit the excitement level here at the bowl.
Coming back to the restart line, Ronnie Silk and Jeff Pearl. Of course, the man in the front see smoke coming out of Rob Janovic's automobile. He's caught up there for a moment, wiggling around in that number 51. Smoke continues to fly out of that car.
Smoke through the back of the car, and Ever's a good sign as he rams into Ed Reed. Ed Reed rams into the wall. And the second man in points has taken a severe double whammy. First he had Janovic, and then he hit the backstretch wall. And you could see the souvenir that he left, that big black mark right under the Wheeling Engineering and Bob Valente Automall sign. That is where Ed Reed hit the wall. Butch Perry in trouble, and they're running out to attend to Sean Monahan in car number 84. A real nasty incident, and it started something went, I think, on Rob Janovic's number 51 car. And he made contact with Ed Reed, and then things really got wild. Let's go to Gary for his perspective.
Well, Dennis Charette has just brought the number 35 car. He was involved in that altercation as well, like many others. A lot of damage on the right front suspension on the Brook Street auto body number 35. Rob Janovic's car is also in, car number 51.
Back as part of our thrill show night on August 13th. The truck will be here at 5:30 to give out the rides, and you could become a daredevil just by riding in that truck. It's going to be a great night.
Well, speaking of daredevils out there in the front of the field, that's Ronnie Silk, who's been holding off the charge. Some of the best drivers in the division here for the past few laps, and one of those is Jeff Pearl. Gentleman already on the stand twice this year, and Ronnie Silk goes around out there at the front of the field. The driver's taking evasive action, and who couldn't do it? Looks like the 57 of Mark Payne.
Also, the 12 is in the middle of that.
So the 12 of Gary Dyer back out on the track.
He is in dire straits.
Richie Carmen also involved. Mark Payne, who ran so well a few weeks ago. But the real tragedy, Ronnie Silk going around out there as he drove a stellar race from the get-go.
And it should give Joey Savali the lead in car number 24. Of course, that's unofficial.
Looks like Keith Comiskey's car stuck out there at the top of turn number 4. Keith from Islip Terrace, New York.
Ski, the driver of car number 03. Looks like they are done for tonight.
Back at the front of the field, we have the number 24 of Joey Savali and Ron Uhas. They're going to be racing back to the stripe as we get back under green flag conditions. Dennis Gata at the 3rd spot on the speedway. The 4th spot for the moment is Michael Gata. He's battling it out right now with Chris Pastriak. That's a great wheel-to-wheel battle out there for the 4th spot on the speedway. It looks like Pastriak with the advantage as they come back to the stripe.
Gata still in the mud, and Chris Pastriak has moved from 5th to 4th. And Pastriak, he looks like he is pretty off the race car. In trouble is the 88 of Silk. Going to Linehan does a couple of pirouettes. He is going to move the car back on the track. He has a flat left rear tire, and he will stay out on the speedway. And no trouble for our front runners getting by the 24 of Savali and the 6 of Uhas.
So Linehan with a flat left rear will limp his way around the Waterford Speedbowl, hopefully go into the pattern this time. Maybe next time. As the cars continue to make their way around the Waterford Speedbowl, yellow flag comes out.
Joe Schumann also in trouble in turn 4.
So the 83 of Joe Schumann stranded down there in the turn 4 area, down there in the grass. Kurt Lenahan making his way into the paddock area, the 08.
Boy, he looked like a rich out there with about 4 360s before straightening out that car. However, well, Mark, if I wanted a couple of eyes to watch over me, James Savali would be a pretty good choice.
He knows his way around any speedway that he's at, and the advice he's given his brother has been good as Ronnie Uhas bounced around a little bit on that restart. And as you can see, held on for dear life, and he continues to hold on to the 2nd spot on the speedway. Battle right now on the track is for 3rd between Gata and Pastriak. Up there, and once again the yellow comes out.
So Billings and Fox both had a frustrating evening.
And it looks like a problem with the Billings automobile, showing sparks on that car. So he'll make his way into the paddock area.
So some suspension problems for Glenn Billings. And it's quite a rambunctious restart. As the race is on hold again, as out comes the gold.
Well, of course, LL Cool J, our musical guest.
You know, it's amazing. Earlier this week, LL Cool J performed at the Democratic National Convention. And on Thursday, he is going to perform right here at the Bowl.
Here they are coming down the straightaway. Savali and Juhas start this time by as Juhas into the outside groove in the number 6. Looks like he's catapulting himself out into the lead. Ron Juhas Jr. This time by, we've got a brand new leader.
It looked like Kip Canaveral on the restart as he just launched himself into the top spot. The best battle is for 3rd and 4th. Handcuffed together are Dennis Gata and Chris Pastriak as they blister their way down the front straightaway.
Pastriak got a little bit loose coming up to number 4. He was able to hold on to the car, and he's working the outside groove against the defending champion in the division as we have 2 cars coming together, and Joe Schumann and Mark Payne once again involved in an incident. So Schumann and
Pavone was against the rail, and he gets that car going again. That does not sound good as Joe Schumann went across the start-finish line.
looks like Richie Carmen out there, I've never seen in my life.
So that'll be on August 13th. Chin Chitwood, Doug Danger, and Cast 100 right here at the Bowl.
Coming back to the restart line, they'll make their way to the restart line in turn number 4. Ron Juhas and Joey Savali. This time Juhas calls the shot. Coming down the straightaway, Ron Juhas Jr. headed into the turns. Once again, Chris Pastriak out there holding on onto that outside groove, unable to get to the inside, but still running a very competitive race down there in the Ballers Auto Parts number 5.
Rob Jannett contesting 4th place with Pastriak, and it looks like Jannett nudged his way into the number 4 position. What a comeback by Jannett.
Rob Jannett trying to make his way to the front. Pastriak are going to be hooked up back there in the battle for 4th behind Dennis Data. Jeff Cole also making his way back up there towards the front. As you remember, he was sent back for some rough riding a little bit earlier, but in the lead half.
You know, considering the circumstances tonight, you would think 3rd place would be right up there with Dennis Data. But that's not the way he thinks. He wants to win this race, and right now he has a lot of work to do. The combination and our leader, Ron Juhas.
Well, one of the things he could do is definitely pad his points lead in the SK Modified division, going into the scant 2-point lead into the night. Unfortunately, Ed Reed unable to continue the incident. So this is a top move for the driver number 3 in the winning points lead.
Pat Juhas's birthday this weekend, and it looks like Ron Juhas is 4 laps away. Quite impressive. If he can keep his lead going against Joey Savali.
So Savali trying to catch him out there, and Ron Juhas driving a terrific race. And as he goes by some of the slower traffic, looking to the outside of the speedway. And of course, hats off to the Auto Parts and North Brantford team. Get that car back out there in the contention, if you will. Of course, a great driving job on Ron Jennett Jr.'s part. And this Pastriak in middle. Janovic, the man of the hour right now, is the man behind him. Well, number 6, that's Ron Juhas Jr. Looks like he's on his way to his first visit to the Town Fair Tire Lane. That's Ron Juhas. He's followed by Savali. Has 2 more turns to negotiate for the number 6. He'll cross the stripe. Ron Juhas Jr. followed by Joey Savali. Dennis Gata. Rob Janovic Jr. Round out your top 5. Chris Pastriak brings the 5 into a 6th place finish. So you can just imagine this is going to be a very jubilant to the Town Fair Tire victory lane. Here on Crystal Mall Nostalgia Weekend. Let's turn it over to Matt Buckler. Matt's trackside.
Yeah, it's been a special night for this driver as he comes to the start-finish line. His first win in 2004, Ron Juhas Jr. Well, Ron, I imagine like a big 20,000-pound weight has just been lifted off your shoulders. 2 critical points. The restart in which you took the lead, and then another great restart in which you reestablished the lead. How important were those?
Oh, they were real important. The outside groove really wasn't there tonight, but we made it stick. We drove the thing, and I think that was the hardest I drove the car on the outside in a long time. And you got to tip your hat to Joey. I mean, it's first time back in the car since the qualifying round last year, and hey, he had a good run.
How relieved are you that you finally were able to visit Victory Lane, 5th in the points, but I'm sure you really wanted this one tonight.
Yeah, that's for sure. I come over the radio after the race, I don't even know where to go. It's been so long. I mean, this is well deserved for all my crew. I mean, they work hard week in, week out. All my sponsors, AP, Marquardt, Pat's Auto Center, TK's Custom Auto. We got Head Insurance on board this year. I mean, it's just great. This whole thing's coming together now, and hopefully we can put a couple more together.
So ready to make his first appearance in the Town Fair Tire Victory Lane, Ron Uhas Jr. So that's the story in our SK Modified division tonight, but there's one more story to be told. It involves a mini stocks.
I couldn't get off the corner without really woeing it up in the middle, so that kind of killed us for a good run at the win. So I got to thank Head Insurance, Arbortel Convenience Stores, Bennett Excavating, Wine Company, Big A of North Branford, and Larry's Auto Machine, Serve Pro. Everybody come along this year. It's been great.
That's Dennis Gato. We're going green in our mini stock.
And we are green as they come into turn number 1, Mike Manifold in the number 99. And if there's ever a guy with a great name for racing, it's got to be Manifold at the front of the pack. He's followed by the number 3. That's Randy Johnson from Westerly, Rhode Island.
Then it's Jeff Miller showing some power early on in the 3rd position. Tim Jordan as will pass Kyle Williams into the 4 slot.
And Tim Jordan, as we mentioned before, one of the top runners in this division each and every season he's been out here, and he's just a very young driver. The guy just out of high school, about 2 years, I believe, and one of the top runners in the division. And I'll tell you what, Evans is a fast runner. We'll keep an eye on the 47.
And he is a nephew of Tommy Fox and also a member of his pit crew. And he tries to make something happen on the outside of Jeff Miller. They whiz their way off the 4th corner. Miller hanging on, but Jordan is almost sitting in his lap.
So that's a great battle right there. And Tim Jordan is indeed the points leader and trying to keep that lead as he works to the outside of Jeff Miller on the outside groove. Seems to be hooked up out there very, very well. Coming down the straightaway, he'll take the position away from Jeff Miller.
A good start for Phil Evans in car number 81. He is in 4th. And now right behind him, Rich Brooks. Evans going down low, trying to make something work against Jeff Miller. And he is unsuccessful as he is behind by about a width of a bumper. But Phil Evans has had kind of a tough 2004 season. Has just found some firepower there to get into 4th position.
And a great move out there by Phil Evans to get that position away. But at the front of the field, you got to tip your cowboy hat to Montana Mike Manifold, because he's driving a heck of a race out there against some pretty good competition. When you consider you've got the number 3 automobile of Randy Johnson, a great veteran in the division, and of course the points leader out there, the number 47, and you're still holding your own, and a little bit of separation between 1st and 2nd. That's a great job.
Yeah, both Randy Johnson and Timmy Jordan graduated from high school 2 years ago, and they are breathing down the tailpipe of Montana Mike Manifold. And Mark, what's Montana Mike's crew chief name? Dirt Farmer Dave.
Dirt Farmer Dave, so it doesn't get any better than that, at least in the nickname division. And as you said before, Phil Evans driving a great race out there. He's currently 4th, but now he's getting a challenge from Rich Brooks. Rich Brooks moving to the inside in the number 65, and usually that's not a good thing for a guy watching him go by, because that's usually what Rich will do, and it looks like it's going to be the case this time.
Rich Brooks is one of the best from coming to the outskirts of the pack and working his way to the front. He is in 4th place. He has a good view of that side-by-side battle for 2nd, consisting of Tim Jordan and Randy Johnston. And right now it looks like Jordan may get the best of that, but Johnston will not give up the spot without a fight.
Well, essentially, Rich Brooks picked up 9 spots in about 9 laps as he started way back in the pack. Initially in this race, the 13th spot on the speedway when we dropped the green for the first time, and he's looking for more.
From 2nd to 6th, those cars could fit inside a microwave. Heating things up is Timmy Jordan, Now a lap car in his way, Ian Brew, but it doesn't slow him down. The new face in second place is Tim Jordan.
And he's got his work cut out for him. It looks like Mike Manifold's got that car running very, very well out there as the laps continue to tick down. Next time by, 7 laps will be showing on the Budweiser Racing scoreboard for Montana Mike Manifold. The great battle right now is going to be for second.
And here comes Phil Evans trying to join that battle, but he doesn't have enough pizzazz on the bottom groove. Tim Jordan is in front, but hanging on like a barnacle, and now scooting to the outside is Rich Brooks.
And that is a great battle, and it's going to be interesting to see what the scoreboard looks like this time by. It's not quite sure if he's able to take the second spot away going over the stripe, but it looks like he's doing that down the back straightaway. This time by, it's not Danny Blake waving at the field. He's showing up that there's 5 laps left to go for Montana Mike, and Rich Brooks has now got his sights set on the number 99 as he is firmly ensconced in the second spot on the speedway.
Montana Mike, a 2-man operation, is putting that car into the lead, but here comes Rich Brooks. Brooks's brigade is going crazy as Rich Brooks is putting a threatening move on Montana Mike.
And so now he's going to have to drive quite a defensive race up there at the front of the field. Tim Jordan now in the 3rd spot on the speedway. Here comes Phil Evans and, of course, Randy Johnson rounding out the top 5 cars on the speedway out there in a time zone of their own.
Brooks darting down low. Good power move. Contact between Brooks and Montana Mike. That will delay the fog up the momentum of Brooks. So Montana able to slip away. Brooks still has time to take another serious shot at first place.
This time by 2 more circuits around the 3/8 mile oval for the number 99, but he's going to have to hold off the charge of one of the best in the division. And that's Rich Brooks at the number 65. Closing in on the back of the number 99 as they come out of turn number 4. Coming down the straightaway, this time by the white flag flies. And they're bumper to bumper as they make their way into turn number 1. Manifold in the lead, followed very closely by Richard Brooks. He's knocking at the door, trying to get by 2 more turns. They're coming out of turn number 4 down the straightaway. It looks like the win will go to Manifold in the number 99. Second spot goes to Richard Brooks. I'll tell you what, if you were at a racetrack, that'd be like a 20-to-1 shot taking home a victory out there, but a terrific victory for the driver of the number 99, the 2-man team of 99, and they're going to have him go over the scales, and then he'll be down there to talk to Matt Buckler. Richard Brooks finishing second. Tim, I remind you, ladies and gentlemen, the action continues tomorrow at the Nostalgia Weekend, sponsored by the Crystal Mall, as the grandstands will open at 10 for our pit party. And then at 12, we're going to fire up those vintage automobiles, put some of these Hall of Famers behind the wheel, and put on an incredible show for you. Right now, let's turn it over to Matt Buckler, who's trackside.
Well, Mark, there used to be an old song by Marie Osmond, "Meet Me in Montana." Well, right now we're going to meet Montana here in Victory Lane. Montana Mike Manifold. Well, Mike, I think you had to drive a flawless race, especially when you consider Rich Brooks was right behind you, giving everything he had.
Well, I tell you, that was the hardest thing I ever done. To keep Rich off my tail, I don't know how I did it. I gotta ask him how I did it, because I really don't know. I thought I was gonna lose it in turn 2 on that last lap, and somehow she stayed underneath me. This just feels great. It's our first feature win, our first year. We're looking forward to plenty more. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Pro Comp Signs, Dirt Farmer Specialties, and of course myself and Everett's Auto for bringing us such a great race car.
And I know, Mike, you're looking for additional sponsorship, and tonight I think you made the best sales pitch of your career.
Yeah, I'd say we're looking for hood and deck lid sponsors, because you know, it's real tough to run a race team, and we'd like to get somebody else on board to help us out, and hopefully next year we come back and really give this championship a run for its money.
Well, tonight we saw what he could do. The winner of our mini stock feature, Montana Mike Manifold. So that is the story here at the start-finish line of what's been a memorable night of motorsports. And to have the final word and to put the exclamation point on just a spectacular night of motorsports. We go back to the Chelsea Groton Tower and Mark Fish.
Thanks a lot, and congratulations once again to Mike Manifold. A terrific run out there this evening to take home the victory in the mini stock division. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for coming out for part one of our Nostalgia Weekend here at the Waterford Speedbowl. Of course, tomorrow the vintage racers will take to the track, and of course you get to see some of these Hall of Fame stars and Hall of Fame cars take to the track. The grandstands open at 10, the pit party begins at 10 and ends at about 11:30. Then we fire them up for practice and heats starting at noon, and we'll get the feature events underway about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Afterwards, you'll have an opportunity for an all-you-can-eat cookout with the Hall of Famers. It's all weekend sponsored by our friends at the Crystal Mall. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming out here tonight to the Waterford Speedbowl to enjoy our NASCAR Dodge Weekly Series event. And look forward to having you back with us real soon. Have a safe trip home. Keep it on the asphalt.